Watch out for ash pits.
Maybe that's what makes it scarier. You feel like you're gonna...
You hired a boat to take you days deep into the jungle? That sounds pretty independent to me.
Welcome back to Nextdoor, where Hope Valley's most heartfelt moments and quiet turning points come to life. As the episode opens, Elizabeth walks little Jack to school, unaware that a small but meaningful change is on the horizon. Little Jack gently explains that he no longer wants to be called Little Jack. He prefers LJ, a simple request that reflects how quickly childhood is slipping into something more grown. Elizabeth listens with warmth, recognizing this as another sign that the children in her care are beginning to find their own identities. Back at home, Lee rehearses his construction presentation for the Benson Hills rebuild with Gwen, determined to get every detail right. Rosemary, ever thoughtful, gifts Gwen a pair of denim overalls. Gwen is delighted and excitedly says she wants to wear them to school, feeling more settled with each passing day. As Gwen heads out, Rosemary reassures Lee that his presentation is going to be a success, offering him the confidence he needs. Meanwhile, Nathan returns one of Allie's books so she can lend it to Oliver. During the exchange, his attention is caught by a wolf pin Allie is wearing. She casually explains that Oliver gave it to her, but as Allie walks away, Nathan's expression darkens with quiet concern. The investigation into the fire continues in the forest, where Nathan, Bill, and Oliver uncover the remains of Toby and Cooper's old cooking fire. Though it seems incriminating, Nathan and Bill are determined to find evidence that could clear the boys' names. As they search, Oliver excitedly discovers a tooth fossil, but Nathan quickly reminds him to stay focused. Their attention soon shifts to something far more troubling, chunks of burnt cement buried nearby, raising new questions about the fire's true origin. Elsewhere, Edie meets with Mike to collect the key to a spare apartment where she'll be temporarily living and working. Mike also provides her with wooden boxes to serve as a makeshift desk. On her way out, arms full, she runs into Lucas. He immediately offers to help, even suggesting she use some of his office furniture, including a proper desk. As they make plans to move it later, Lucas steps a bit closer than usual to study the boxes. Edie notices and smiles as he walks away. After school, Elizabeth pulls Toby and Cooper aside. Instead of scolding them, she offers a longer extension on their assignments and asks if they need additional support. Grateful and relieved, the boys thank her before heading off. Nathan and Bill later bring Henry to examine the burnt cement. Henry admits he doesn't recognize its origin, prompting the group to plan a deeper investigation by reviewing maps and records from nearby companies to identify where the material may have come from. In a lighter moment, Oliver proudly shows Allie the fossil he found, explaining his theory that it belonged to an aquatic dinosaur. Allie is impressed by his knowledge, and Oliver admits he used to read books about dinosaurs until he lost one during a movie. Allie gently reminds him that he doesn't have to move anymore. As she places the fossil back in his hand and holds it a little longer, the moment is cut short when Nathan calls Oliver away. Concerned for Toby and Cooper, Elizabeth shares her worries with Rosemary. Spotting the boys wandering nearby, she decides to follow them. Soon she discovers them in the forest planting trees. The boys apologize for falling behind in school, but explain they've been trying to fix their mistake. Moved by their effort, Elizabeth joins them, planting alongside them as a quiet act of forgiveness and hope. At home, Rosemary finds Gwen gazing at one of Rosemary's old theater posters. Gwen asks if she ever misses her former life. Rosemary admits she does sometimes, but insists she's never been happier than Rosemary admits she does sometimes, but insists she's never been happier than she is now. Moments later, Lee arrives with exciting news. Coulter Construction has been chosen to lead the Benson Hills rebuild. Gwen hands Lee a drawing she made of her home and asks him to rebuild it exactly as it was, a powerful symbol of healing. Elizabeth later finds Allie reading a book on paleontology. She correctly guesses Oliver inspired the interest. Allie asks to borrow a strainer to help sift for fossils, hoping to show Oliver she cares about what matters to him. Elizabeth praises her kindness, and Allie thanks her for always being there to listen. Allie soon meets up with Oliver to search for fossils, only to be surprised when Bill joins them. Meanwhile, Christopher joyfully tells Henry that he's been promoted at the electric company and that he and Rachel are planning to marry in the spring. When Christopher asks Henry to give a father of the groom toast, Henry happily agrees. Back at school, Toby and Cooper arrive late and ask Elizabeth for an extension on their David Copperfield essays. She agrees, though her concern for them remains. That evening, Nathan returns home to make dinner for Allie, only to learn she's still out with Oliver. Frustrated, he asks Elizabeth to tell Allie he's waiting. Later, Lucas and Edie meet to move the desk. Edie compliments Lucas on his honesty during his re-election campaign. As they maneuver the desk up the stairs, it slips and falls onto Lucas. Though he insists he's fine, Edie takes him to the infirmary. When Allie finally returns home, Nathan confronts her, upset that she was out late in the woods with a boy. Allie calmly explains they were looking for fossils. Regret soon sets in for Nathan, and he goes to Elizabeth's to reflect. Elizabeth suggests he may be struggling with the fear of losing his little girl. Nathan admits she's right and even confesses he's responsible for LJ's nickname. They share a laugh and agree that although their children are growing up, everything will work out. The tension rises again when Lee suddenly collapses while discussing Benson Hill's plans with Rosemary. Fearing the worst, she rushes him to the infirmary. Thankfully, Dr. Carter later confirms it was an anxiety attack, not a heart attack, urging Lee to slow down and listen to his body. The next morning, Nathan prepares breakfast for Allie and apologizes. He warns her gently that love can be complicated. Allie accepts his apology, teasing him about assuming she's in love. As she leaves, Nathan hands her the paleontology book, a quiet gesture of trust. At school, Elizabeth teaches her students how some pine trees require fire to release their seeds and regenerate. Though the students worry about how long regrowth will take, Elizabeth reminds them that planting today is about serving future generations. The class heads outside to plant trees, and Toby and Cooper thank Elizabeth for believing in them. Christopher and Henry later stumble upon the planting project while birdwatching. Henry offers mulch and reflects on how Toby and Cooper may have caused the fire, but are now showing strong character by helping restore the land. Edie later visits Lucas with flowers, checking on him after his fall. He admits he pushed himself too hard to make up for missing her legal clinic. They call it even. Edie blurts out that one reason she's staying in Hope Valley is because she enjoys spending time with him. Lucas offers to share his office space, but Edie declines, joking it would be too distracting. They part with warm smiles. Gwen and Goldie return home sharing stories of planting seedlings. Lee explains that saplings are even better for surviving winter, and they plan to donate some to Elizabeth. Soon, Lee gathers the community to help plant them. At the site, Nathan praises Oliver's fossil and tells him he's glad it's in his hands, clearly meaning more than just the discovery. As the town comes together, Joseph gives Cooper an encouraging pat on the back. But the episode closes on a troubling note. Henry finds Christopher hurriedly packing his car. While helping, Henry notices burnt cement in the trunk and quietly takes a piece. Christopher hugs his father and drives off, leaving questions lingering in the air. Thanks for watching on Nextdoor, where every story has a deeper meaning just beneath the surface.